Hi everybody, myself Dr. K. S. Legram. In the course of Automobile Engineering, lesson number 7, I am going to take up the class on crankcase ventilation and engine service. Crankcase ventilation and engine service. This is the topic for today's lecture. So crankcase ventilation, why crankcase is to be ventilated is the entire engine gets heated up. That heat is to be taken out to the atmosphere so that it cools for a time to time. So this is the schematic of the crankcase ventilation. So here we are having the engine like this. The engine is like this. The schematic will be like this. This is the turbine and this is the air filter. Right. So here the crankcase is ventilated and this is the crankcase. Right. So the air filter is having filtering element here. This is air filter. So for ventilation, the crankcase needs air. So this air filter, what it does is, it filters the impurities present in the air. Right? So it is having a filtering element here, which is made of paper having some corrugations or small holes. That is called filter paper. This is filter paper. It is like this. And the filter paper is of different sizes, and it is having holes, small holes in between. The air which is sucked into the cylinder is having dust particles. Atmosphere is having dust particles. So these dust particles are filtered by the filtering element here, and this filtering element is to be changed time to time so that the pure air at higher quantity is allowed into the crankcase. And also the filtering element should be cheap and it should be changed time to time. And here from the filter it is connected to the oil separator. This is the oil separator. Right, and here it is having connected with this is the piston. This is thickness of the engine. This is a cut section of the engine to show the parts inside the engine. Inside the engine cylinder, we are having the piston pin, connecting rod, crankshaft, and the crankshaft is fixed in the crankcase. This is the crankcase. Yes, I had already done. This is the crankcase. Now, its energy is connected to the piston's energy is connected to the crankshaft here. This is the and this is the crankshaft. This is the crankshaft and this is the crankcase. Don't get confused. This is the crankshaft and this is the crankcase. The case which is holding the crankshaft is the crankcase. This holds the crankcase holds the crankshaft, right? So inside, due to the very high heats, the entire crankshaft will get heated up. This entire crankcase will get heated up. So that heat is to be removed time to time. Otherwise, what happens is the entire engine gets heated up. That is a major loss to the engine. That's why time to time this heat is to be delivered to the atmosphere. That is called as crankcase ventilation. The main purpose of crankcase ventilation is to remove the heat developed during the process of the engine's working to the atmosphere. This is the schematic. Now, to keep the engine healthy, we have to keep the engine service for all conditions. The engine service is to be taken place. It is called overhaul or long haul, right? HAL, haul. Haul means servicing. So if the engine is made time to time haul, its life will be increased. Its life will be increased. So to improve the life of the engine, the vehicle should be given to the garage for servicing very frequently. So this is the story going on in the while servicing of the engine. So before the servicing is started, the technician does his test for checking of all the components of the engine. So as we had discussed already, all the Indian vehicles are having the engine at the front side, right? And the transmission is going to the rear side. So in the engine, the technician observes each and every component. Like what he observes is the engine, he checks for engine oil, whether the engine is having filled with proper engine oil or not. So he checks the level of the engine oil inside the engine, right? It is very simple. The engine is having filled up with the lubricating oil up to certain level. The level of the engine oil should be checked very frequently. Otherwise, what happened is, if the level of the engine oil decreases, the supply to various parts will become difficult. That's why there is a dip rod here inside the engine. this is used to, and this comes out, and it is having a pointer here, right? And in this it is having two markings. The dip rod is having like this. It is a knife-like structure. It is very thin knife-like structure, right? It is having two markings on it. One is the correct marking, correct level we can say. The other one is the danger position. In no case, the engine oil inside the crankcase should reach this one. If it reaches this level, it causes very high danger to the engine. So, while opening the bonnet on the engine, the technician should check the level of the engine indicator. So, how he checks is, he removes the dip rod from the engine's crankcase and cleans it first with the cloth. Again, he will put the dip rod inside the engine's crankshaft and removes the dip rod. So, then he checks for the level of the where the oil touches, right? If the oil is at this level, it is okay. But when the oil is at this level, and the oil touches only up to this level, so it is an indication that oil is to be replaced and new oil is to be checked. Also, while checking the engine oil, care should be taken that oil's properties should be proper. Like what are the oil properties is, the technician has to change, to look for the color of the lube oil. So, why to see about the color of the lube oil is, the color of the lubricating oil gives that the quality is good. If its life is over, if the life of the lubricating oil is over, that is, if it is not used as furthermore, right, its color changes. Its color becomes muddy color, dark color. It is such that it should be removed. That is a clear indication. And also some oils are to be smelled such that if it is burnt, the oil on continuous use, what it happens is, it will burn and the oil gives a burning smell, right? So, by the sense of color and smell, it should be checked. If these two are having any problems, the entire engine oil is to be removed. And here at the bottom, there is a nut provided. So, to change the engine oil, what they do is, they will remove the nut here at the bottom, so that the entire waste or useless lubricating oil is to be drained out completely, right? Then again it will be closed and new oil will be poured from the top side. Here is another screw. The screw is opened, and through this opening again it will be inserted into the crankcase. So, the level of the fluid for a particular engine is already defined. So, the technician has to fill the crankcase up to that volume of the lubricating oil only. So, what a full car service include means what to do for a full car servicing, right? So, as I told you in the beginning, the engine oil is to be changed, right? And filter is also should be replaced because it is very low cost. Filters are available for low cost. It is in below 100 rupees. So, whenever the car is sent to the garage, first they will replace the filters, right? And some filters are cleaned in diesel. Diesel is a good fuel as well as good detergent also. It cleans the dirty particles settled on the surfaces and gives a correct shape orientation of the particles. So the filters are cleaned by using the diesel oil. And then second one is checking of the lights, tires, exhaust, operations of the brakes. So when the vehicle go to the garage, first they will check for the oils, engine oil, gearbox oil, lubricating oil, cooling oil. All these oils they will check and change. Unnecessarily they don't change. If their qualities differ, then only they will change the oils with new oils. As I told earlier, the quality can be checked by color visibility and then smelling. So oil, if it gives a burning smell, that is the practice they learned, right? So the burning smell as well as change of color implies that the oil should be changed. And again, second service is regarding tires, lights, exhaust and brakes. These are also to be checked for the servicing. Third one is engine is tuned. Tuning also it should be done. What is meant by tuning is the engine has to give correct sounding. Right? See, we have learned about sound and noise. Right? Sound is looking good. Noise is a negative aspect. So the engine in no case should develop noise, but it should give tune. So the what is it? The rhythmic sound given by the engine means the engine should give such a voice that it should be cyclical. The cyclic sound means the same repeated sound. Whenever a sound is there, the same sound will come after some gap. And again, with the same gap, the same sound has to repeat. So the same sound, if it repeats, it is under good tuning. That is the best test for tuning. Also, they will check the engines running by connecting the engine sound to the digital meter, so that it will give the correct pulsations on the screen, and echo testing is also done for taking the tuning of the engine. And again, nowadays the brakes and clutches are operated hydraulically, so hydraulic fluids and coolants are also to be checked. Right? Hydraulic fluid is the fluid which is used to braking system. Right? If the level of the hydraulic fluid in the brake cylinder becomes low, there is an effect for the braking. That's why the hydraulic fluid should be checked for its correct measurement. And also the coolant. Some cars, if you have gone through, if it is gone for very longer time and longer distance beyond the designed value, there is an indication coming on the dashboard with a red signal like this. Similar to a flag. So this is the indication for temperature rise of the engine. There are nearly 6 to 20 symbols like this on different cars, different these symbols. But now I am discussing about this symbol, the temperature symbol. So whenever this symbol glows on the dashboard, it implies that the engine gets highest temperature. So for that, what to do is stop the vehicle for some time, like 20 to 30 minutes, and then start your journey. If you continue your journey, there may be a chance of damage to the engine. That's why whenever this signal appears on the dashboard, the vehicle should be stopped. So this is due to lack of coolant level in the cooling tanks. So at that time you cannot do anything. That's why stop the vehicle for some time and go. And after making all your arrangements, bring the car to the garage and close the and fill the coolant level in the cooling tanks. That is the service provided to the car. So that is the, and also the cooling is also checked for the radiators in the car, right? So in the radiators we are supplying, radiator means it is a cooling radiator is also used to be serviced, right? It consists of two tanks like this. One is the top tank, second one is the lower tank. These two tanks are joined by plates like this. These are pipes, and plates are also provided to cool the water coming from the top tank to bottom tank. This is called as the upper tank or top tank, some people say. This is the lower tank. These are the pipes. These are plates. Right? So initially it is filled up with water having filtered from dust particles, not what is that pure water or purchased water, ordinary water filtered with a smooth cloth. That water will be poured to the radiator upper tank, and from by opening this lid, right, it reaches the lower tank through these pipes, right? It reaches this one, and here is our engine, right? So the engine's heat is carried to the top tank, right? So here the hot water reaches the top tank and it flows down. While flowing down, and it is traveling through very longer pipes for longer time and having these plates, it is cooled by the atmospheric air supply also. This is air supply. So air cools the water coming which is flowing downwards, and cold water is supplied to the lower tank. So from the lower tank again it is given to the, this is the input to the engine, and this is coming out from there. So here in the servicing we have to see whether it is completely having the water level or not. Also in some cases, like some seasons, we can say we are having summer, winter and rainy season, right? In some deep areas, like very cold areas, if you put water, the water gets freezed out, right? So there is no flow of water and engine gets heated up. So in such cases, they will add some coolant materials such that the water don't get freezed up, right? So such checkings are to be taken care while servicing the radiator cooling. Then the inspection to be done is about the suspension, right? Here we are having, this is the frame, and to the frame the wheels are connected by means of springs like this. Right? Here is one support to the frame, here is another support to the frame, right? So suspension checks are to be done such that these supports are correct or not. Also, these plates, suspension plates, are giving correct suspension action or not. So, everything are to be checked in the suspension checking, right? The suspension supports, here suspension checking is to be done for suspension supports and also for the plates. Some plates, how to check the plates is, if the plates are used, if the vehicle is used for very longer time, right, they becomes hardened up, right. The plates should be having the property of malleability. They should be elastic enough. The plate should be elastic enough to take the upward thrust or downward thrust when the vehicle is coming over bumps, or when the vehicle is carrying, or when the vehicle is traveling through bumps, uneven roads, right. What happens is the wheel goes up, right. So, as a result, the spring will expand. The springs will expand. So, this expansion and contraction will be proper if and only if it is a good elastic property. So, what happens if the plates are used for longer time, it loses the elastic property. The elastic property goes down, they becomes hard. They don't collapse, but they become hard, means body present, mind absent. The plates are there, but their function of elasticity goes down, right. So, as a result, what happens is, when the vehicle comes across bump, the entire load will be raised up, right, or the passengers which are sitting in the bus, if it is coming across any bump, they will rise up, right. That is the difference between the cheap buses and costly buses. In the costly buses, the management look over, the transport management look over the suspension system time to time. They will change the plates, they will change the supports like this. If they are not changed, that might not be a major danger, but for the comfort goes out, right. The passengers will feel uncomfort such that they will rise up for even smaller bumps. That is the difference between ordinary bus and Volvo buses, right. In the Volvo buses, we can sleep easily, whereas in the ordinary buses, we cannot even sit, because the lack of this suspension checking time to time, right. They will not check the suspension system time to time, they will not expand on this suspension system. The next one is steering alignment. Steering alignment should be very carefully done, because see, if the driver turns the steering wheel, but the front wheels won't turn in the desired direction. The driver thinks that I had turned the vehicle. Simply he will turn the wheel under the instruction that I am going in the left in this angle. But due to the mechanism in the steering, there is a alignment means fitting. Due to misfitting or any damages in the steering link, right, the steering link is like this, the steering axle is like this, right, and to this the steering, this is the steering mechanism. This is the steering mechanism, right? That is steering wheel. This is the steering column. And this is the linkages. So, in the steering alignment, while servicing, they have to check for the correct movement of the steering linkages. here as well as here, right? Due to lack of